The fishing profession has long been closely tied to the sea. Fishermen are the ones who set out before dawn, navigating the waves and weather each day to bring home fresh catches. It's an incredibly demanding job, one that requires not only the ability to endure harsh weather conditions, but also a great deal of skill, experience, and a keen sense of the natural world. Not everyone knows that behind the fresh, fatty tuna, pristine cod, or vibrant grouper served in restaurants or found in supermarkets is undertaken a long journey to get there. What's interesting is that not all fish are caught the same way. Each species lives in a different environment, with its own set of behaviours, and as a result, fishermen must choose the appropriate methods to catch them. From large ships hunting tuna in the open ocean, journeys across cold waters to catch cod, to fishing for grouper near the shore, or diving deep with spears to catch fish, each journey is a story and an art of survival. Let's follow and explore the world of those who live with the sea. Through each journey, every type of fish, and the different fishing methods they use. Every day, millions of tuna swim across the oceans at speeds of up to 47 miles per hour or 75 kilometers per hour. They never stop or they wouldn't survive. Some species, like the blackfin tuna, can live up to 40 years, but they are hunted due to their high value, sometimes worth more than a luxury sports car. Catching tuna is no easy task. Fishermen spend weeks at sea, facing storms, strong currents, and the unpredictable movements of the fish. All these factors make the job much harder than it seems, and that's why they must always be ready. Warm water currents are often a clear sign that there are plenty of tuna in the area. Based on this, the entire crew moves to the appropriate fishing grounds. They know that if they arrive at the right spot at the right time, the chances of a big catch are very high. When the boat arrives, the crew pays close attention to the surface of the ocean. Just seeing seabirds circling, water changing colour slightly, or unusual wave patterns indicates that there might be a school of fish below. These small signs can lead to a successful fishing trip. Bluefin tuna aren't just strong, they're incredibly fast, and they're always on the move. To keep up with that speed, industrial fishing boats have to travel at speeds of up to 31 miles per hour, or around 50 kilometers an hour. Once they reach the right spot, they deploy massive nets that can stretch for hundreds of yards. However, this method is not without controversy. The large purse seam nets, massive walls of netting that surround entire schools of fish, capture everything in their path. While they yield enormous catches, they also threaten the delicate balance of marine ecosystems, ensnaring sharks, rays, and even sea turtles. To fish on a smaller and more selective scale, long lines with thousands of baited hooks are deployed for miles, attracting individual tuna. There's also a traditional method, hand fishing, where skilled fishermen battle those giants of the ocean using only their strength and technique. No matter which method is used, one thing is certain: Catching bluefin tuna is a game that requires skill, patience, and precision. For those who are adept at this craft, the rewards are immensely worthwhile. While the boat docks, workers quickly unfold the fish, some weighing over 1,000 pounds. They check the size, fat content, and colour of the flesh for classification. Fish that meet the standards are sent to high-end sushi restaurants, while the rest are loaded onto refrigerated trucks to be taken to processing plants. Everything must be done swiftly to maintain freshness, which is the most important factor. High-quality bluefin tuna is often taken to auction houses. In Japan, one was sold for a record price of $3.1 million at the Toyosu market. The fatty otoro cut is highly sought after, selling for over $50 per piece at high-end sushi restaurants. However, not all tuna are sent to high-end restaurants. Some are transferred to processing plants, and here workers operate in a sterile environment, handling the fish according to strict standards to serve various markets. These batches of fish often cater to everyday consumer needs, from supermarkets to casual dining restaurants. This market is currently valued at over $7 billion and continues to grow as consumers increasingly prioritize high quality, convenient, and long-lasting food. If tuna fishing is a race of speed between humans and the fastest fish in the ocean, then cod fishing demands endurance. It's not the raging waves or scorching sun, but the biting cold, deep seas, and silent challenges found in icy waters. Cod fishing requires fishermen to venture out for long periods in cold waters ranging from 28 to 39 degrees Fahrenheit, where waves can reach heights of up to 16 feet. They need large boats measuring 65 to 197 feet and refrigeration systems that maintain a temperature of 30 degrees Fahrenheit in order to preserve the fish. Each trip is a test of endurance, skill, and experience. Cod fishing areas are often located far from shore, ranging from several dozen to several hundred nautical miles. They require government permits for exploitation. The fleet navigates based on satellite data and reports from previous fishing vessels that have increased the chances of locating large schools of fish. Once the location of a school of cod is identified, fishermen begin the catching process. If using bottom trolling nets, they lower the nets to the seabed and then the boat slowly moves to drag the net across that area. After several hours, the net is pulled up, usually bringing in tons of cod along with various other seabed creatures. This is an effective method but requires careful management to avoid harming the seabed environment. The second method is that of longlining. Fishermen deploy long lines stretching several kilometers with thousands of baited hooks. This method allows for better selectivity, reducing the amount of unwanted bycatch. Each time they retrieve the lines, they have to check each hook, remove the fish, and replace the bait.
Beautiful.
As soon as the fish are brought on board, fishermen begin processing them to keep the fish fresh. The first step is to bleed the fish by making a small cut behind the gills. This helps keep the flesh white, clean and less fishy. Then the fish are rinsed with cold seawater and placed in a tank with ice or frozen brine. On larger vessels, industrial refrigeration systems can maintain the fish at temperatures ranging from 28 to 0 degrees Fahrenheit. Some modern vessels even have processing lines on board. The fish are gutted, organs removed, sorted by size, and frozen immediately on site. This process helps reduce transportation time after docking, preserving the quality of the product. Every year, around 2 million tonnes of cod are caught globally, with the majority of the yield coming from the waters of the North Atlantic. The commercial value of cod exceeds $10 billion annually, with high demand driven by its nutritional properties and popularity in seafood dishes. However, fishing is not always the same. While cod fishing requires long trips in deep icy waters, the situation is different for grouper. Fishermen targeting grouper typically use smaller boats, as they need to maneuver flexibly in shallow waters near the shore. These fishermen usually have extensive experience and a deep understanding of grouper habits in coral reefs and rocky areas. The fishing gear is not overly complex. Sturdy hand rods, baited lines with live bait, or iron traps dropped to the sea bed. Catching grouper requires patience. Fishermen may use hand rods or drop live bait near the bottom or set traps in advance. Grouper tend to be slow to bite, but once they do, they put up a massive fight. The angler must accurately sense the moment the fish bites, then skillfully pull it up without breaking the line or allowing the fish to escape. If they pull up too quickly, the fish will jerk violently and could slip off the hook. Often, they may have to sit for hours just to catch a single large grouper. Grouper is one of the high-value fish species in the market, especially in regions like Southeast Asia and the United States. The global export value of grouper reached nearly $2 billion in 2020, with demand primarily coming from upscale restaurants and the Asian market, where live grouper is highly favoured. After patiently fishing for grouper near coral reefs, there is a bolder method of fishing: spearfishing. Instead of using rods or nets, fishermen dive into the water, track the fish, and accurately shoot them with a long spear. This normally has a sharp tip or a special design. This method of fishing requires a lot of skill, calmness, and good underwater awareness. To go spearfishing, divers need to prepare thoroughly. They wear snug wetsuits to stay warm and swim easily. Basic equipment includes a mask, snorkel and fins. The most important tools are the underwater spear gun or crossbow, which is equipped with a line to pull the fish up after being shot. This method is often used in shallow waters near the shore, where the water is clear and there are many rocky or coral reefs, places where fish like to hide. Fishermen need to train their ability to hold their breath for long periods, stay calm and move gently underwater. They must avoid making loud noises, as even a slight movement can scare the fish away. spearfishing is not for everyone, as it requires not only physical fitness, but also patience and quick reflexes. Fishermen using the spearfishing method typically use small, maneuverable boats, and they choose sunny days with little wave activity and clear water, as light and visibility are extremely important. If the water is murky, it becomes difficult for the fisher to see the fish, reducing their chances of catching them. Each fishing method, from hunting tuna in the open ocean, trolling for cod in cold waters, catching grouper near coral reefs, to the adventurous spearfishing, represents its own unique art. Each technique reflects the knowledge, skill, and connection of the fisherman to the sea. Even with machinery to assist, nothing can replace the experience, intuition, and resilience of those who work amidst strong winds, high waves, and uncertain livelihoods. Ensuring the continued development of the fishing industry is not just a matter of technique or yield. It is also a responsibility towards the ocean, a place that sustains millions of people today and in the future. Whether drifting in the frigid ocean or diving deep beneath the clear waters, each sea trip brings an unforgettable moment. Sometimes it's the overwhelming joy of reeling in a massive fish, while at other times it's the thrilling moment of struggling against powerful predators in the depths of the sea. Here are 20 of the most impressive fishing and catching moments. Stories that not only showcase skilled techniques, but also the courageous spirit of those connected to the sea. First is this lucky fisherman, who surely had a successful fishing trip today. A large flounder bit the hook, and after 5 minutes of struggle, he successfully pulled this flounder, weighing around 140 pounds, onto the deck of the boat. This species is considered one of the coveted trophies for sports fishermen due to its impressive size and strength when being reeled in. This group of fishermen are working together to pull up a large grouper. They patiently sat for over 3 hours, waiting for just the right moment for this big grouper to bite the bait. Finally, after a tense struggle, the fish, nearly the size of a person, was brought up, and it ended up weighing nearly 95 pounds. And here's a bountiful catch. The boat tilted to one side under the enormous weight of this school of anchovies. In just one haul, tens of thousands of anchovies were scooped onto the deck, covering the entire net. This scene left everyone in awe. This was not just fishing. It was like a treasure trove in the heart of the sea. A massive blue marlin just bit the hook, leading to a thrilling battle between man and ocean. After nearly an hour of struggle, the marlin, over 10 feet long and weighing nearly 440 pounds, was finally brought alongside the boat. A moment that any angler dreams of. Two fishermen caught 2 large yellowfin tuna in the open sea. Each pull of the line felt like a breathless test of strength. Finally, both massive trophies were hauled aboard amidst a cheer of excitement. A Middle Eastern fisherman encountered a legendary creature beneath the sea. A giant squid over 3 feet long and incredibly strong. The moment it was pulled to the surface sent chills down everyone's spines.
Oh, he's changing lights. Look at him. Oh, he's trying to pull away. Come here, you. Oh my God. Come on. Bull.
A swordfish can grow over 6.5 feet long and weigh over 300 pounds. It is one of the ocean's fastest warriors, and it was just pulled from the water. The moment this fisherman conquered it and hauled it onto the boat, left everyone on edge, holding their breath. These two fishermen teamed up to catch a massive tuna, weighing around 440 pounds. After a tense struggle, they managed to haul the giant squid onto the boat. This cast landed them a huge payday.
Let's go! Oh yeah!
This fisherman, out at sea alone, wrestled and landed a 44-pound salmon on deck. Not everyone gets as lucky as this guy, hooking such a massive salmon.
Oh, look at this king. A gorgeous fish.
An impressive moment where this group of fishermen, using just simple rods and lines, pulled in hundreds of tuna in just 15 minutes. On average, a tuna bit every few seconds. This might be the largest salmon ever recorded. The net pulled up nearly 100 tons of salmon, worth millions of dollars. The moment the net was raised, left everyone in awe.
Let's get this jerry rig out of here. Yeah.
These two men hooked a massive grouper. With astonishing strength, it even pulled one of them towards the sea. But for this fisherman, it was definitely a successful trip.
Boat cutters are gone.
These two men were grappling with a giant catfish, measuring 8.4 feet and weighing 230 pounds. They struggled for over 15 minutes before finally hauling it onto the boat. This guy, even while surfing, has managed to catch a giant squid. It seems the squid was trying to latch onto his surfboard as he rode the waves. Its size left everyone in shock. Another impressive moment as this group of fishermen celebrated their massive haul of mackerel. Using just two small wooden boats and nets, they managed to catch a huge amount on this sea trip. This fishing boat, using long lines, got lucky passing through a large school of yellowfin tuna. One big fish after another was pulled from the sea. They kept hauling in huge tuna, working non-stop. Tons of red snapper were hauled onto the deck by these fishermen after a single net cast and weight. They had an incredibly successful trip, with the deck overflowing with fish. One net haul brought up dozens of large tuna. Not every trip out to sea is lucky enough to catch tuna this big. A large crab pot was hauled up with a full haul of king crab. This trip offshore could be worth millions of dollars with king crabs this big and of this quality. This boat is using an automated and modern squid jigging system. Now they can catch hundreds of squid at once. A fishing trip like this could yield tons of squid.